Yes, yep. Yeah, and these are good tips because now there's a lot of ice outside.
Yeah,
right now.
is.
In fact, Lake George looks like there's a very thin layer of ice on top of it.
Oh, it's hard for me to even tell.
Well, it's because you could tell because the water's not really moving around. This is a still photo, but I was looking at the sky, the camera that was moving a little bit, and the water is still. So actually, this is the first winter in a couple winters that Lake George has frozen over.
Yeah, that's true because last year it never really got this cold.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, this morning was the coldest morning we had in 2 years. In fact, February 4th, 2023 was the last time we got this cold or colder. 8 below zero was the temperature to start the day today. Average low is 15. We wish it felt like 15. 15 may be our high temperature today. So this is certainly an Arctic air mass that's in place. The record low, we are still quite a distance away from that, is 20 below zero back in 1984. So as mentioned, this is the Lake George Skycam. You could see the flags blowing around. Normally you'd see the water sloshing around, but because we're not seeing that, I assume there's a very, very thin layer of ice. And this is a perfect example. So thin that probably if you even step at least this part of Lake George, that ice will easily break. So it's places like especially big bodies of water that take a very long time to freeze over. And ideally you need at least 6 inches or around 6 inches of ice for it to be safe to go on top of and do any sort of activities, winter or ice activities along. Well, we saw the bright skies in Lake George. We're seeing the bright skies all across the area. That is helping to warm us up pretty quickly. There was some intense lake effect snow back towards Watertown, but with high pressure in place, that has basically subsided. The rest of the northern half of the country is pretty quiet. I do want to point out, we talked about that big storm down south yesterday. Well, that has moved away, but if you turn on the satellite imagery, this white stuff you're seeing in Louisiana, in Georgia and Alabama, Florida, that's the satellite picking up on this incredible historic snowpack that is on the ground. We're talking 6-7 inches left in the storm's wake in northern Florida, Georgia, Louisiana. I mean, literally a once-in-a-generation storm down there. And the cold air has drained all the way down south. Current temperature in Albany is 13. It's 17 in Philadelphia. It's still 39 degrees down in Orlando. This is 12:15 in the afternoon. The coldest of the air, though, is now starting to slowly move offshore and move to the east of the country. But it will take some time. Even though we're starting to moderate, it will take some time for us to really feel like it's warming up outside. 13 in Albany, 10 in Coplin, 9 Johnstown, 9 Indian Lake. Those are the current temperatures. Winds are actually fairly light, so the feels like readings are very cold, no doubt about it, but not as harsh as they were yesterday because the breeze is just so light. Feels like readings are only a couple degrees off from what the actual temperature is. And throughout the day today, expect a lot of sun. Tonight, once the sun sets, clouds will increase, so that will also hold temperatures from falling as low as they did the previous few nights. Tomorrow itself, we start the upward climb, mid to upper 20s, so a little bit milder, still below average, but warmer than where we've been. Will be a little bit breezy, just a slim chance of some snowflakes off towards the north and west. I think locally we should be dry. Friday, sun and clouds, bit breezy, mid to upper 20s, and Saturday, another quiet day. Notice we're starting to slowly warm on up, 25 to 30 degrees by then. So starting tomorrow, temperatures for most rise back into the 20s. This afternoon, we're still in the teens, 12 to 17, but with less in the way of wind, it doesn't feel as harsh. Tonight, 3 to 8 degrees, so at least we're above the 0-degree mark. Still very cold, but not as harsh as where we've been. Tomorrow, again, we start our upward climb, milder, 23 to 28 degrees, just a chance at a snow shower off towards the north and west. So the pattern is pretty quiet, really, for the next 7 days. Chance of some snow showers on Sunday, a few snow showers Tuesday. Both of those do not look substantial at all. And look at that. We get 30s back by Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. And we know that should feel very, very nice after the below zero readings we had this morning.
Yeah, it certainly will, Sam. Thanks.